Glorious Devon, be Devon, glorious Devon.
After a lot of overnight rain, the roads around the forge were covered with red water. Red, of course, because of the colour of the soil around here. The centuries-old forge in the centre of the village of Cockington. The forge could possibly go back to Norman times.
Change your bellows, the big bellows worn out, you know.
Yeah, I don't. Do they want that one?
Do you want two? Yeah, £2.99, Jim.
They ought to be on the side and everything. Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that. Oh, it's alright.
Oh, you've got to
Yeah.
The weaving all takes place in this old cottage in the centre of Cockington village.
We're weaving worsted scarves. There are 3 abreast on the loom, and they've been set in slight various colours. Now, in between the scarves, there's what we call dupe threads, or no, some will call it a puggy thread, which interlocks at the side. So when the scarves are cut eventually, there will be no fraying, and all scarves are made in a similar fashion. Now, this is the merino yarns from the merino sheep, the worsted yarns, and I say all in these nice pastel colours. So, to give you an idea, here we are. Was made for the crofters, really, in the west coast of Scotland. They all had their little looms on the crofts, and it's an advanced version of the one behind you there, which is the old-fashioned one. And this gave it a great advantage that it has a 6-shuttle box here, automatic changing, and the whole thing is treadle power this time, and so we have a much more, say, advanced version of the old-fashioned. Interesting point about when doing lace scarves, to get the gap, an empty shuttle is thrown across for 4 picks, which will then leave the gap, and then will comes in the colour once again. So in other words, that creates the lace effect, you see. So once again, I'll show you that working. This particular loom we have today, Shetland travelling rugs, and in the colours we see today indeed are all natural colours, and in fact here's one done previously of the same, and here we are. This has been washed and shrunk from the loom, and here's to say the finished article. Also has a brushing and has a hand purled fringe on the ends, and that's all natural colours.
There's this Fingle Bridge over the River Tame. It's an old pack horse bridge, as we can see how narrow it is.
The trackway seemed to be going on for ages, climbing ever higher and higher, very steep in many parts. A little break on the path, and then on with the journey. Down in the shelter of the ditch, the snow still hadn't melted. In the fast-gathering gloom came the long trek down. It's going to read a description of this path.
This path marks the way to the Devil's Cauldron, the most exciting part of Lydford Gorge. In 1954, a local newspaper reported that this area of the gorge was not for children, the elderly, or the nervous.
Down here, of course, there's never much light, and late in the afternoon there's even less than usual. A further complication is that the water level is much higher than normal. We ought to be walking over there, but I don't think we're going to. It's the Devil's Cauldron. I've just gone along that wet plank to get to see it. Quite unbelievable. And look at those steps we've had to climb. There is a handrail, but my goodness. I must say it was well worth the effort. These were the steps I just walked along. And down at the bottom, one plank, and then the other plank, and believe me, that was wet. Court Cottage was having a refit. Even the young are quite happy up on the roof. Looking carefully, you can see the depth of the straw which is used for the thatching. In fact, I believe this work is being done in Norfolk reed. All held in places with special pegs. Here is some of the reed on the ground waiting to be put up. Most of the cottages in the village have been done by this family of thatchers at some stage or other.
Devon, be Devon, glorious Devon, be Devon,